Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Literacy Open, where readers become leaders. Hello, welcome to Mrs. T's classroom, and today we are going to learn about language and comprehension. All right, where is my pointer? There we go. Okay. All right. So the last class we did learn about a read aloud titled "The Big Brown Bear." And I did mention that we will use that reading to work on language and comprehension. Okay, so basically, what we're going to do today is I did take some part of the reading, the read aloud, the Big Brown Bear story. I did take a part of it to build into what we need to learn about language and comprehension. Okay, it will all make sense to you when you see some part of the text and how it's been broken down for you to understand the text. Okay, now I'm gonna try to break this down into tiny bits so that you can understand. Okay, but before we do that, let's go ahead and do some exercises. Welcome back. All right, now we are ready to learn. Okay. All right. So language is about sentence structure and context clues, okay? Now, basically, it's how well you arrange words into a structured form to make meaning, okay? On the other hand, comprehension is the interpretation we give to the text. How well do you understand what a text is all about? Okay. Um, how descriptive is the text? How well do you answer questions that has been presented from the text? Okay. All right. Everything will begin to make sense the moment you see the next slide. Okay, there we go. Everyone loved Dumpy the bear because she was big and had fluffy fur, which made everyone at the zoo want to touch her. Now, this is the language side of things. Let's see how well we do with the comprehension side of things, okay? Now, the questions. Why did everyone love Dumpy the bear and want to pet her? Okay, here we go. You can go ahead and read this again to figure out what you need to answer here. Okay? All right. Everyone loved Dumpy the bear because she was big and had fluffy fur. Okay? All right. Everyone loved coming to the zoo to see Dumpy. Dumpy entertained the kids by rolling on the floor and standing on her feet. Okay, so this is the structure, the language structure for this. Let's see how well we can understand the interpretation of the text. Why did everyone love coming to the zoo to see Dumpy? Okay, think about that. Always feel free to go back here on the language side of things to review, okay? Now, let's try to answer the question. Everyone loved coming to the zoo to see Dumpy because she entertained her audience by rolling on the floor and standing on her feet. Do you see that? That shows an understanding, and that shows that we understand the interpretation of the text. Okay? All right, let's see what we have here. Lots of tourists took pictures of Dumpy while she performed. Some threw flowers into her arena. Now, this is the language side of things. Let's see how well we do on the comprehension side of things, okay? Now, the question is, What action did some tourists take while at the zoo? Okay, feel free to go back here and read this again. Okay, try to understand what the text is asking. Now let's try to answer that. Some tourists took pictures while some threw flowers into Dumpy's arena. Look at that. We are doing really well here. Good job, guys. I love the way you're thinking right now. I can actually see you all thinking right now. Okay, that's what we have here. Dumpy the bear loved to eat. And the workers at the city zoo fed Dumpy too much food. Okay, let's see what we have on the side here. What did Dumpy the bear love to do? Feel free to go back, review, try to understand what the text is asking, okay? Dumpy the bear loved to eat. Good job. Well done. All right, so let's see what's here on the language side of things. Dumpy slept all morning. Dumpy slept all afternoon. Dumpy slept all night. That was the only thing Dumpy wanted to do. Okay. Which activity did Dumpy do all day long? All right, you know that, right? Yes, you figured it all out. Dumpy slept all day long. Good job. You guys are so good at this today. Okay, all right. When the kids arrived at the zoo, Dumpy was nowhere to be found. They searched the corners, searched the arena, searched the zoo farm. They looked everywhere for Dumpy. Okay, you can read it again, okay? Try to read it again. Maybe a little bit slowly this time, okay? Try to understand what the text is asking here, okay? Now let's go over to the question side of things. What did the kids do at the zoo when they arrived? Okay, you figured that out, right? That's right. They searched for Dumpy. So sometimes when trying to interpret a text, just go straight and answer the question. I know sometimes you might be tempted to say they searched for Dumpy by looking in the corners, looking at the zoo farm, searching the arena, searching this, searching that. That's too much information. The question said, what did the kids do at the zoo? Not where they looked, but what did they do? Okay, they searched for Dumpy. Good job. All right, let's see what we have here. Babies? Oh no, Dumpy now has three beautiful cubs. Baby bears are called cubs. Dumpy now has a bear family. Now, let's see what the text is asking here. What did the kids discover when they found Dumpy? How many baby cubs does Dumpy have? Now read this again. Read this again. What did you notice here? There are two questions here, guys. Two questions. Don't answer this in a hurry, okay? Let's figure out how to answer these questions in a way to show that we understand the text. Okay, now let's read it again. What did the kids discover when they found Dumpy? That's question number one. How many baby cubs does Dumpy have? That's question number two. Now let's see how we can put this into context. Okay, let's see how we can put this all together. The kids discovered Dumpy has three baby cubs. Now, let's go back to the question. What did the kids discover? Now, can you look at the answer? The kids discovered Dumpy has three baby cubs. Now, the answer already answered the two questions, okay? Without having to write a long letter about Dumpy's three cubs and what they found. The answer, the answer to the question already answered the two questions. The kids discovered Dumpy has three baby cubs. All right, good job. Okay, Dumpy showed off her babies to the kids and their parents. Everyone was so happy and they all wanted to see the baby cubs. Now, let's see how well you understand this portion, okay? How did everyone feel about Dumpy? Okay. How did everyone feel about Dumpy? Everyone was happy that Dumpy now has a family. Good job, guys. Well done. Oh no, it's time to go. Oh dear, I see we are way, way above the top of the hour today, but we have to go right now. But don't worry, we will be back next lesson. But feel free to go back, read the Big Bear story again, and try to match it with the current lessons, language and comprehension, and that will give you the bigger picture. That will give you a clear understanding of how language structure and comprehension works. Okay. As time goes on, we will keep reading more and more and more. We will keep exploring on things like compound words, things like syllables, things like just to get familiar with those words because you'll always get to hear them all the time. All right, but until then, thanks for coming. All right, bye.